The true story of an amusement park carny saving millions of newborns. Believe it or not, we're only a few decades removed from the days of the common cold being just as deadly as the flu. With medical knowledge at a premium back then, what were the parents of sick babies to do when it seemed like nothing they tried was working? That was the question one Brooklyn man sought the answer to when he founded a small clinic in the most unconventional of places. With the help of a machine unlike any seen before, this unsung hero went on to save countless infants. And you might actually be one of them. When Beth Allen was born 3 months premature on May 23, 1941, the outcome looked bleak for the 1-pound, 10-ounce baby. With modern neonatal care still in its infancy, Ben's mother had only one place to turn: Coney Island. Known for its rickety roller coasters, tourist hordes, and sleazy sideshow stalls, Coney Island seemed an odd place to seek medical advice at the time. But when Beth and her mother arrived at the small Luna Park clinic, their strange surroundings seemed almost ordinary compared to the man they met inside. With his straw boater hat and vaudevillian garb, the resident doctor appeared more carny than caregiver. That all changed, however, when this mysterious man brought Beth over to a strange contraption and revealed who he actually was. Born in 1869 in the former state of Prussia, Martin Kohn was a physician and medical graduate of the prestigious Leipzig University. Having studied under the guidance of renowned French obstetrician Pierre-Constant Boudin, Kohn learned firsthand of a new neonatal technology that would come to change the world: the incubator. Like those of modern day, these primitive incubators were designed to provide vulnerable babies with stable living environments until they were healthy enough to survive on their own. During Kohn's time, these machines drew in and heated external air to keep the newborns comfortable while expelling stale air through an exhaust vent. Boudin was such a strong proponent of infant incubation that he encouraged Kohn to showcase the technology at the Great Industrial Exposition of Berlin in 1896. Kohn wowed attendees and was hailed as an expert mind in the field of neonatal care. The popularity of Kohn's machines grew, and by the turn of the 20th century, he had exhibited his incubators at fairs all over the world. When it was time to officially take his technology into business, Kohn, who changed his name to Martin Coney in the face of anti-Semitism, opened up a shop on Coney Island. Customers traveled far and wide to catch a glimpse of Coney's babies and his remarkable machines. In true sideshow fashion, nurses would make a spectacle out of the small size of the newborns, going as far as placing diamond rings on their wrists to demonstrate how little they really were. Coney's operation was considered highly controversial and seen as a means for exploiting helpless infants for profit. His methods for drawing crowds were no less questionable, as most believed Coney took advantage of patrons' relationships with the babies to create repeat customers. But despite his questionable business practices, Coney's devotion to the health of his newborns was unmatched. Each baby was given around-the-clock care with a heated incubator, and every 2 hours the nurses would carry the infants upstairs for regular feedings. Not only that, but every cent Coney made through his exhibit went directly to the babies. At the time, caring for each infant cost $15, roughly $400 today. By charging admission, Coney was able to cover the expenses for his clinic and offer his services for free. Though Coney didn't keep records of his patients, he maintained that his clinic saved 85% of them, including his own daughter. But even with all that he was doing for these premature babies, the good doctor was not all that he seemed. In 2016, a dive into Coney's past uncovered new information that changed everything historians thought they knew about this remarkable man. Not only was it unlikely that Coney ever studied under the tutelage of Boudin, but there was also a good chance that he wasn't even a licensed doctor. To become a physician in Germany, one was required to write a thesis, wrote journalist Claire Prentice in an article for Smithsonian Magazine. The U.S. National Library of Medicine has copies of the German records, and the libraries could not locate a thesis written by Coney. With Coney's legitimacy as a medical professional all but erased, one question remains: does it really matter? A scandal like this emerging during his lifetime would have undoubtedly jeopardized his operation, and the world as we know it would have been an entirely different place. At the time of Coney's work, U.S. hospitals weren't in the practice of using incubators, making Coney Island Clinic the only place where premature babies could receive proper care. Even when Coney tried to donate his equipment to New York City hospitals in 1940, the institutions declined due to a lack of properly trained personnel. However, some historians speculated the hospital's refusal to adopt Coney's technology stemmed from darker motivations. Eugenics and selective breeding were wildly supported during the early 20th century, and the unfortunate reality was that many felt that these premature babies were unfit to survive to adulthood. But not Coney. Despite a cultural movement towards genetic perfection, Coney chose to defy the status quo and devote his career to giving these infants a chance at life. And though he never profited financially from his work, Coney was visited throughout his life by the growing children that he had saved, including Beth Allen. After surviving through her first day in Luna Park, Beth returned to visit Coney on a day that spoke to the true significance of their time spent together: Father's Day. According to testimony recounted in the Coney Island History Project, the now 77-year-old Beth recognized that without Coney's care, she likely wouldn't have survived. Coney passed away in relative poverty in 1950, but thanks to his contribution to the neonatal field, millions of premature babies continue to survive through infancy. "I made propaganda for the preemie," Coney claimed upon the widespread acceptance of incubators shortly before his death. "My work here is done." Though Coney's methods for saving newborn lives were considered unconventional, no one could deny his innovative incubator changed the world of medicine forever.